Well, it was getting a bit stale and boring in that room, filming the same stuff in front of that same background. So what I wanted to go over today was the quote that you just read, and it's, "You'll never implement a solution you don't feel worthy of." Now, when I first learned this, and I'll do a different video on this again probably, but when I was in the military, especially when I was in special operations, that was around that time, that was exactly that time when I went through a pretty horrendous divorce of my own making, infidelity, split up with my wife. It was fairly traumatic for everyone involved. And I've always been a guy that's had insecurities, that's had low self-esteem, low self-worth, and that's always jacked up pretty well in a place like the military, especially in a special operations unit where I was in. Right, you're always comparing yourself. It's all about performance. You always got to be better, never good enough, that type of stuff. Right, so I already had that going on internally, plus the external pressure. And then when I went through that divorce and I had that real sort of self-punishment vibe going on because of what I'd done, what I'd perpetrated in that relationship. And when this thing got really acute for me around the depression as well, and it started to be noticed at work, I just didn't feel worthy of it. I just thought, I'm in this amazing unit surrounded by these amazing guys. None of them have any problems, and the ones that do, it's always PTSD because they're these mad war heroes, and I'm just this piece of shit that has depression, right, because of a marriage breakdown and infidelity and things that I did myself, right? It wasn't because I was a hero, it was just because I was some putrid piece of shit. That's what I thought. So for me, when I went through that, I was like, well, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve being better. I don't deserve getting fixed. I don't deserve that life of happiness that's on the other side of what I already know what to do, right? That's the other thing. When you know what to do, when you know that it's sleep, diet, exercise, human connection, and all the other millions of things that you can and should do to make yourself better and live that better life, if you don't feel worthy enough to pursue that, if you don't feel worthy enough of what's on the other side, you're just going to cockblock it. You're just going to self-sabotage. You're going to do just enough to get out of that pain and then live that mediocre life until the pain comes back and do just enough to get out of it again. So what I would always encourage people to do is you've got to ask yourself that question, and that's what I obsess over as part of this business. It's not what do I do, it's why don't you already do it? Why don't you think you're worthy? I mean, I know the answer for that myself. A lot of that stuff comes in childhood, and it's about maladaptive learning strategies and beliefs and values. And, there were times in my life that I truly did compromise the values that I wanted to live by, right? And that caused me a lot of pain. And then I had this huge value judgment about myself, where I was like, and the saying that I used in my head was that the PTSD was the cool injury and depression was the stupid one. So I was like, well, I don't deserve to fix this injury, so I'm just gonna let it consume me. And the other thing was that I didn't think I'd been punished enough. I didn't think I'd suffered enough because of the pain and the hurt that I'd caused. So anytime something like that would come back, those depressive thoughts and feelings, that emptiness, and depressed people know what I'm talking about, it's not sadness, I was like, good, because I fucking deserve it because of everything I've done. So I hope it hits me hard, and obviously that led to me going, well, I'm such a bad person because of the things that I've done, and I actually did those things, that I was like, not only do I not deserve to be better and implement the solutions, but I also deserve to die. And that was one of the big contributors to why I decided to kill myself. So if you're somebody out there, especially in one of those operational roles like the military, law enforcement, firies, ambos, you pride yourself on your competence and your capability and your confidence in what you do in those jobs, and you are the person that they go to for help. You are the fucking help. So when you encounter something like that you're not ready for, that you don't think you deserve because you're already making up for something you think you're lacking by doing that job, you're never going to implement that solution. So what I would recommend and what I would always suggest to people is find out why. What is it that makes you think that you're not worthy enough? And that all comes down to clarity, right? I'm going to talk about clarity a bit later as we go on, but you need to find that out about yourself and ask yourself that serious question. It's not what do I do, it's why haven't I done it? Why do I not feel worthy?